Welcome back to For the Record. Maddie Lee, Communications Director of Upstate American Heart Association, joins us once more, along with Dr. Angelica Soberon-Casar, Medical Director of Encompass Health. During Heart Month, the American Heart Association emphasizes heart health. How do you keep a heart healthy?
So there's a lot of factors, of course, your diet, exercise, monitoring your blood pressure, all of those things, family history, knowing what your risk factors are, your cholesterol, your numbers, really, diabetes, keeping it well controlled, all of those factors to keep your heart healthy.
So what I'm hearing you say is it's important to go to have a doctor,
Absolutely.
to go to your doctor,
yes,
and to check early and often.
Correct. Definitely know your risk factors, monitor those, go to your primary care physician or cardiologist if it's indicated, and keep an eye on those and take those recommendations seriously.
For so many women out there, this is a matter of life and death. Does it hit the female population more often than the male population?
So it's actually interesting, and in many ways, yes. We think of it as more common in men, and honestly, it is not. Women are very much affected by heart disease and cardiovascular disease, stroke as well. Mm-hmm. So we do have Go Red for Women. The American Heart Association is starting that campaign and really driving that home. I'm part of that this year. To really raise awareness that women are very much affected by heart disease.
Mm-hmm. And to add to that a little bit, over the course of time, women have more statistically highly been left out of some research components, some elements there as well. And so when we are not focusing strictly on women and being able to compare the way cardiac disease looks between a male versus a female or whatever that may entail, we don't know as much as well. So that's also a huge reason for Go Red for Women's initiative beginning almost 20 years ago, was because we saw that in research, and as a research founded organization, we wanted to make that top priority.
Yeah, that's a great point. And let me throw this out there, minority communities as well. I'd imagine it's very high.
Correct.
There as well.
Yes, so there is that for many different reasons. There's been studies to show, is it education or health literacy? Is it more just the persona as far as how healthcare perceives minorities, or vice versa?
I would imagine even the diet of cultural foods. For some cultures, fresh produce was not something they had access to. Healthy meats was not something they had access to.
Right.
And then you build a life around that, and that affects generation after generation.
Absolutely. I mean, there are some other components, what we eat and so forth, and even how our history, so certain medications don't work as well in one subgroup versus another, and just knowing that. So there are a lot of factors.
Mm-hmm. Full disclosure, I have my doctor, and he says that I'm going to have to put you on blood pressure medication. So I'm on it, and I'm shocked that I'm on it. I feel like I'm on it so early, but if I want to hang around here for a while, I take it. Access to the medicine is not something everyone has.
Okay. And I will say access to, and I've worked as a student, rotated in clinics and so forth, it's also how the medication makes you feel or not, even. Yeah. Hypertension is a silent killer because you don't really feel the blood pressure necessarily. So I've had very young patients in their 40s just come off of it because they don't feel the blood pressure. They don't check it, and then they have a stroke.
Walk me through what's going on in the body before the medicine is taken. Like when there's a problem.
So it depends on where the underlying issue for the blood pressure. So it can be, for some people, there's issues with the arteries, the hardening of arteries as you age. Could be a kidney issue, just a lot of hormonal components too. There's a lot of factors to
So
that.
then that would cause your heart to have to work harder.
So, right, there's that, and then there's the pressure kind of building up. So now it also pushes pressure to those certain areas in your heart, making those work harder, and then getting thicker over time. So there's just a lot of factors, pressure going into the kidneys that's off. So
And if there's
kidney
pressure
disease.
in an artery and it busts, that would be...
So that's where you saw, if it's in the brain, that's where those patients coming off of those blood pressure medications, I usually would see a bleed. So a brain bleed, a ruptured vessel.
Talk to me about exercise.
So exercise will help with that because over time it'll help with your elasticity of those arteries and over time bring down your blood pressure. So it just adds to that cardiopulmonary system, so really adding to the oxygen and your efficiency of your body. So it will lower your blood pressure, not right away. It'll take a few months for that to work, but that does help.
And that exercise could lead to weight loss.
Absolutely.
Which will help as well.
Yes.
All things total health and well-being.
Correct.
Yeah. So eating right, exercise, staying on top of, listening to your body and staying on top of what it's saying and going to the doctor as well.
Just a few things to remember.
Just a few things.
Just a
yeah.
few.
But it goes back to, you know, we were talking about CPR before. The problem has presented, if CPR is happening, a problem has presented itself.
Correct.
And no one wants to get to that point.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
So getting that message out there.
Very important, yes. And specifically in regards to women, as you mentioned, we do focus significantly on women during American Heart Month and women's health. And with CPR, as we mentioned earlier, too, even statistically, women are less likely to receive bystander CPR just because of our natural physique. People are worried. They want to ensure they're performing it correctly and appropriately in whatever the capacity they are, too. So once again, really emphasizing not only this message of CPR that we mentioned earlier and these other messaging about women, but bringing that all together as well to show the importance and the need and the reason that it's important to share all this information.
Such great information. Well, straight ahead, some big events coming up this spring for the American Heart Association.